There's more to the cost of moving than you might guess. In fact, most people underestimate how much it will cost by almost $1,000. This podcast will talk about all things people forget to include in their moving budget. Let's face it, moving is a pricey business. A study by Forbes Home found that over 40% of first-time movers end up spending a little bit more than $700, with the average move costing about $1,000. But wait, there's more. People often underestimate how much extra they'll need to spend. Research shows that average unexpected cost is a little bit over $700. Interestingly, men tend to spend more on these surprises, averaging $870 compared to $663 for women. Unsurprisingly, the total cost of your move can vary greatly depending on several things. How far you're moving is a big one, along with whether you hire local or long-distance movers. The time of year and even the day of the week can also affect the price. Location plays a big role too. Moving costs tends to be lower in the Southwest, around $900, and higher in the West, closer to $1,200. Owning versus renting also matters. Renters typically pay less to move, averaging about $800. Homeowners, on the other hand, spend an average of $1,500, a whole 58% more. This might be because people are more willing to invest in extras like packing and cleaning services when moving into a permanent home. Finally, some studies suggest that people with higher income tend to spend more money on moving. This could be because they're more likely to pay for additional services like packing and cleaning instead of doing it themselves. What unexpected costs do people experience when moving? So we know moving can be expensive, but what are the hidden costs that really catch people off guard? Forbes Home looked into this and found that packing materials topped the list at 22%. Who knew box and tape would add up so much? Taking time off work to move came in close to second at 20%. Oh, that unpaid time off can really hurt the wallet. Rounding out the top 3 unexpected costs were utility fees, 18%, and gas for the move, also about 18%. But wait, there's more. The unexpected cost varies a bit depending on who was moving. First-time movers were most surprised by the cost of furniture, with 23% saying it was their biggest unexpected expense. Gen Z movers, those Gen Z folks, felt the pain of taking time off of work the most, with a whopping 26% saying it was their biggest surprise cost. And for those brave souls moving off to college, nearly half, 44%, said they weren't expecting the cost of moving deposit to hit them so hard. Moving from a small place to a bigger one can be a shock. Suddenly, you have all this extra room with lots of empty spaces on walls and room for more furniture. But hold on before you rush out and buy a bunch of stuff. Instead, take time to figure out how you want to use all this space. Don't just fill up with things that you don't really need. There are lots of ways to keep decorating and furnishing costs down. There's no rules that says you have to fill your home with unnecessary clutter. There are lots of ways to keep decorating and furnishing costs down. You can also shop secondhand, vintage, and retro stores, and scour Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp for unique pieces without the expensive price tags. Moving to an apartment in a city or even suburb with tight street parking? Don't forget about parking costs. Before you move, check your parking situation. Does the city require a permit to park on the street? Does the apartment offer free parking or is there a fee? If there's no parking at your new place, you might have to pay a lot for a permanent spot. Even if you don't want to pay, remember the time you waste hunting for a free spot. Also, consider car sharing if possible. Most places in some states with limited parking capabilities have better public transportation. If you can split the cost of a car and parking with a partner, you may save a lot of money. Next, packing can be a pain for both your wallet and your schedule. First, you gotta buy all the stuff you need to pack: boxes, tape, scissors, special boxes for fragile things, bubble wrap, and anything else. That really adds up. Then, there's the time it takes to pack everything yourself. Time is money, right? So think about whether it might be worth hiring movers to pack for you. They usually include the cost of boxes and packing materials in their price, and that frees you up to focus on other things. Packing for a move can be a double whammy for your wallet and your schedule. However, there are ways to save money on packing supplies if you're willing to put in the extra time. Look out for free boxes on local community Facebook groups. I gave all my boxes away this way after moving. You can even borrow packing tape and scissors from friends and family. Just remember to return them. With very little effort, you can pack your belongings without even breaking the bank. Moving rarely goes perfectly according to plan. Sometimes you might not be able to move into your new place right away, leaving you stuck with your stuff. Renting a storage unit can hold your belongings until you're ready, but it'll add extra cost to your move. So be sure to factor this in your budget. Downsizing to a smaller home can also lead to storage needs if you don't get rid of enough stuff. While renting a unit might be necessary, set a clear deadline to sort through your belongings and get rid of what you don't need. This will help you avoid paying for storage for longer than necessary. Double check the size of your new place and moving date before the move. It's no fun getting surprised by either one by the last minute. Storage units can hold your stuff for a short while if you need them, but remember, most people end up paying to store things they never use again. If you're moving long distances, don't forget to budget for sleeping, eating, and refilling during your long journey. While you're probably factored in the cost of your moving van, you'll also need to think about where you'll stay and eat while you're on the road. Plan your journey with enough pit stops along the way. If you are driving long distances, don't underestimate how often you will need to stop or your need for a proper night's sleep. It's a better idea to budget for a night in accommodation than to sleep in your car. If you're traveling long distances, it's important that you are well rested enough to drive the next day. Pack some snack and prepare proper meals you can eat on the road. This can save you money and ensure you're eating nutritious food that keeps you full and comfortable, rather than snacking on chips, popcorn, and lollipops. Pack large containers of water and use these to fill up the smaller water bottles while you're on the road. You'll save money rather than buying lots of little water bottles. Moving for the first time can be a shock. Our study found that first-time home movers underestimated the cost by almost $300 on average. That's because they often hire movers, almost half do, and skip cleaning themselves. Only 30% tackle it. This adds up compared to experienced movers who are more likely to do it yourself and save money. In fact, first-timers face over $1,000 more in unexpected costs than those who moved before. Be prepared for moving expenses to be higher than you think, especially if you're new to moving. There's no denying that moving is expensive, but preparing for some of the unexpected costs, including packing material, time off of work, service fees, and more, can help you movers better plan for your budgets. So, if you found this episode helpful and want to continue learning and staying updated on all things real estate, we invite you to follow us on your favorite podcast platform. By subscribing to our show, you'll never miss an episode packed with valuable insight, expert interviews, and practical tips to guide you through your real estate journey. Also, I love hearing from our listeners. If you have any questions, comments, topic suggestions, or real estate stories to share, please reach out to us. You can follow me on all my social media pages. Just search for Long's Real Estate, local realtor in Las Vegas and Henderson, Nevada. I will save all the links in the description of this video. Until then, remember, in Las Vegas and Henderson, the odds are always in your favor when you have the right real estate agent by your side.